And when I lost my mom, I lost a piece of myself where I share stuff in detail because my mom was the person who always made time for me. She listened, she cared. She was like, my biggest cheerleader. So when I lost her, I lost my ability to share everything. And not everything so much where, all my business, but in detail of where a mom cares and wants to listen and like loves you enough to just let you say the same thing over and over and over again, right? So I do that with my therapist. Sometimes I feel like that's a piece of me that I got back by going to therapy, sharing with her, what I had to do in detail. And she listens because I'm paying her. You know what I'm saying? And what therapy really does is it takes the weight off the people in your life. So when you tell them stuff, you don't have to share again because you already got it out of you. So giving those summaries or those high points is just enough.
Hey, it's Logan Renee of the SOULKATION podcast, the home of all things soul care, a place where we heal, we grow, and we laugh, all while you're building your six-figure business or CEO career.
Hey tribe, welcome back to another episode of the SOULKATION podcast. We are here for part 2 on hacks to saving time in your business. Make sure you go back and listen to part 1. It was everything. I also want to let you all know what's going on in the SOULKATION community. So we have a live class every single month. They are free. They are on the SOULKATION Tribe Facebook group. We go live right in the group. So make sure you're a part of the SOULKATION Tribe Facebook group. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes and then you're automatically in the group. We're going to talk about this month on April 29th, Thursday, April 29th, losing weight and keeping it off. Okay. I don't know about you all, but I've lost weight before, but child, it came right. Okay. So we're going to talk about how do you lose the weight and how you keep the weight off. We're going to talk about how sugar and flour are just like cocaine because they are actually made the same way. Maintaining your figure, lifting heavy versus lifting light, cardio versus strength training, pre-pregnancy and post-pregnancy health, and unhealthy foods to just stay away from. Okay. We're going to talk about all those things that you want to make sure you're there for the SOULKATION live class, and we'll actually see you live in the room. So, couple hacks. Number 1 out of the gate, believe that you're never going to feel like it. Just go ahead and accept that truth of being. You're not going to feel like it. There's going to be it's easier to just watch TV. It's easier to just not do squats. It's easier to not save and be out here just balling out. It's just easy, right? But if you have these goals, dreams, and things you want to do, honey, you have to set aside time for it. So go ahead and prepare yourself for the not feeling like it. And then put things in place that go ahead and encourage you. Like I talked about the last episode, the hacks of what you listen to. Inspiring Habits is my go-to on YouTube to gas me up. Or sometimes I have to put on a little pop, lock, and drop it music so I can just gas myself up so I can do it. You're not going to always feel like it. So the mantra we're going to roll with for this year, well, one of the thousands, because I'm going to say that a lot, is this year is about commitment over feelings. This year is about commitment over feelings. What are we doing? Letting our feelings lead us will keep us in the same place we were last year. No, we're not going to feel like doing it ever. Okay. The band look real good right now. Okay. The pillow is flushed and ready to go. Okay. Ready. But commitment over feelings. Goals over laziness. Execution over procrastination. This is what we're going to do as a tribe. Commitment over feelings. We have to literally set aside our feelings and say, hey, what did we say we want to accomplish? And we go after that thing full throttle. This year is the commitment over feelings. That's how you save time in your business, and you get to your goal for the month. And we don't cast it aside like, oh, I got more time. No, you don't. All the time you have is the time you have right now. That's it. Number 2, distraction preventions. I talked about another one on the last episode, the Do Not Disturb ministry. Okay. But minor things add up. You'll look up and nothing is done. Talking, scrolling, just walking around the house like, well, let me put my essential oils on. Okay, well, let me go. I need to do my eyelashes one more time. Okay, well, let me put my shirt on. Oh, well, let me review what I got to do. Reviewing will have you doing nothing. Planning sometimes will have you doing nothing because you planning and they did nothing. You look up and it's 5 p.m. No, execution. Execution. So if you have to move your social media apps to the last page of your phone, do that. If you like to go to coffee shops, but you know it's going to be nosy, make sure you have headphones in your bag. And then what I do is I have 2 to 3 sets of headphones in my bag. And then I have an additional headset in my car just in case those 3 don't work. Okay. The backup for the backup for the backup. And for those of you who are always cold, I'm always cold, child. I don't know why. Dion Cole said, I'm iron deficient, but oh well. That was hilarious. I don't know if y'all saw it on Netflix, but his special was hilarious. But I pack blankets. I put on stockings under my workout pants because some of these places be cold for like they be running out with the coldness because they want you to get coffee. Like, I see you trite, but it's okay because I got a blanket. Okay. Like whatever you need to bring. So there's no excuse to like, well, I need to go. If you know you're going to be hungry, just look at what they have and maybe get something small or bring something if you're trying to save money. I'd be bringing food, child. I'll get some, cheap just to support or whatever. But child, I'll be bringing all type of stuff in them coffee shops. Let me tell you how I really run out. If you can't find a quiet place, like you just can't find a quiet place, the real plug is hotels, okay? Going to a hotel acting like you staying in there because they be having some really nice rooms. Like, and babe, I just walk in DoubleTree, Marriott, Hilton, like I live there. And nobody has ever walked over to me and was like, ma'am, what are you doing? Not once. Nobody has ever done that to me. And I've been in all these hotels in their lobby typing away, okay? SOULKATION.planning.com, okay? I call it my little office, okay? If you can't find those are really, really quiet. There are a couple people coming in asking questions, but again, headphones are the move, Find a quiet place that you know that you can really execute on something and then make sure you're as comfortable as possible. That's number 2. Number 3, you want to save time in your business. We have to be aware of what we're thinking. Our thoughts will be the thing that makes us a millionaire or keep us in debt. Our thoughts will make us millionaires or keep us in debt. John Jenkins said, anxiety and depression will start to form when you bow down to the same negative thinking. Come on now. Come on. He said something now. Anxiety and depression will start to form when you bow down to the same negative thought. Okay. Tell me that's not a word. That's literally what happens. Sometimes I'll be like, thoughts, see you tomorrow. Not today. Bye, lie. Negative thinking. And you have to shut it down at the root, at the start. Because if not, it'll start getting life in it. When we continuously think about something, we're breathing life into that, right? And how we think will create what we produce. The truth is we should think on things that are lovely, that are pure, that have good report, that are true. If it's not true, it's keeping you stagnant. If it's not true, it's feeding you lies, right? So if it's not true, I can't focus on this. A lie is that you're not going to be successful. The truth is you can have all that you believe. That's the truth. So I'm going to focus only on these thoughts. And when the other thoughts start to come, go ahead and shut them on down. And how you shut them down is by replacing them with something that is true, something that is pure, something that is lovely, something that is of good report. If it's not of a good report, it doesn't need to sit and manifest, right? We don't give it legs. Number 4, child, find you a good therapist or a coach. Okay. I'm just going to keep talking about therapy on the SOULKATION podcast because it's good, child. It's true. It's amazing. Okay. And business is tough. And business is also very lonely. There are no cheerleaders. There are no people. Girl, you sent an email. Yes. Girl, you posted an episode. Oh, ain't nobody out here clapping for you every 2 minutes. But if you have a therapist that you can share your wins with, your struggles with, that's amazing. Because if not, it's going to be you, Jesus, and your journal. And that's if you journal. So really it's just you and Jesus. And if you don't talk to him about it, you're left with all those things, all those feelings within yourself. right? If you really want those out, put them on paper, type them out. I'll talk about journaling on my computer. And if you have people that use your computer, you can lock your documents on Microsoft Word if you don't want to write it out in a journal and lock your journal, right? A therapist literally has no choice but to listen to you because you're paying them. So you can say the same story over and over. I remember when I started therapy, I would kind of treat her like I treated everybody else. Like I would give people summaries because a lot of times, especially with people that are doing the thing, if your circle is full of people that are goal motivated, everybody they don't have time to sit around and listen to your same story for 5-6 hours. But your therapist, since you're paying her, she has to listen. And when I lost my mom, I lost a piece of myself where I share stuff in detail because my mom was the person who always made time for me. She listened, she cared. She was like, my biggest cheerleader. So when I lost her, I lost my ability to share everything. And not everything so much where, all my business, but in detail of where a mom cares and wants to listen and like loves you enough to just let you say the same thing over and over and over again, right? So I do that with my therapist. Sometimes I feel like that's a piece of me that I got back by going to therapy, sharing with her, what I had to do in detail. And she listens because I'm paying her. You know what I'm saying? And what therapy really does is it takes the weight off the people in your life. So when you tell them stuff, you don't have to share again because you already got it out of you. So giving those summaries or those high points is just enough. Y'all able to move on and talk about something else. And, you've already dumped some of the negative or the emotional stuff that could have been very heavy in your therapist. And then when you go hang out with your man or your friends, child, you just cuddle and just have a good time and you keep it pushing. Okay, you just move on. Next is a coach. Coaches are blessings if you find the right coach, But I would say sit back and ask yourself, what is it that I need the most? Because there are coaches for everything, but what do you need help with the most? Is it confidence? Is it self-esteem? Is it self-worth? Because you can have the app and you can have all the business strategies, but if you don't like and love yourself, then if there is no foundation, if there's no roots, you'll never pitch that. You'll never pitch the app. You'll never post your website, right? That has to be there. And I'm your coach if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for somebody with business strategies, how do I get, this amount of money this quarter? How should I organize and structure my business? What paperwork do I need? Do you need an assistant? Just somebody to help you out, because a lot of times people go to coaches looking like, okay, they're going to help me execute all this stuff. They just going to give you templates and strategies for you to go do it. You might need an assistant to help you implement it. Do you need a manager, somebody to help market you? Do you need marketing help? Maybe you're just not good with graphic design, and that's okay because there is somebody that is. Do you want to learn how to become a speaker? Finding a coach that actually coaches specifically on helping people speak and generate income from speaking. Do you want to self-publish a book? We have a program at SOULKATION University called Produce Your Own Book. It's how you market your book. How do you write your book? How do you come up with a title for your book? How to make money from your book? Where to market your book? All of those great things. But it's sitting down, asking yourself, what do I need specifically from a coach? And, asking people for reviews from the coaches too, or looking at their social media and seeing, okay, she's been able to help them with this or whatever like that. And your experience wholeheartedly will be based on the homework you do up front. Your experience from your coach will be based on the homework you do up front. It's super, super, super important. Lastly, I'll say this: remember that your coach won't do the work for you and the therapist cannot heal you. Okay, this is super important. They are resources. God is the source. Your coach won't help do the work for you. They'll give you strategies, how to implement it, things that work for them, things that did not work for them. A therapist can't heal you, but she'll give you strategies on, how to handle this, on journaling, on meditation, on visualization. She can help you come up with healthy practices and a healthy way of thinking, but she can't heal you. Healing it comes from God, and healing comes from a choice that you make in your life. But your results will be based on how open and how honest you are and how fast you implement what your therapist tells you to do, as well as your coach. So the responsibility I talked about in our leadership how you have to own it as a leader. And that's what the tribe is. The tribe is full of leaders, right? We have to own it as leaders also. A small recap. If you want to save time in your business, know and trust and believe you ain't gonna never feel like it ever. Okay, you're gonna want to take a little nap. You're gonna want to watch TV, and there's time for that. But we can't do that 6 days a week and say that we're gonna be successful. And of course, we get to define what success is. But if your definition of success looks like, you provide a generational wealth, there's no way you can watch TV 6 days a week and not touch anything of your business or your brand or even your career. Distraction preventions, looking at things that are minor, that are not that important, that's taking up, time. Come up with a strategy on how you can make your life easier if you decide to leave your home and go do some work. Is it packing snacks? Is it packing a blanket? Is it packing your own tea and your own coffee to save money? What does that look like for you? Our thoughts will make us millionaires or keep us in debt, okay? Our thoughts should be true. Our thoughts should be lovely. Our thoughts should be pure. Our thoughts should be of good report. And if they're not filled with those things, we can have weapons ready to go. Like, no, I can do all things. No, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. No, I don't have to think on these things. No, I will let the peace of Christ rule in my heart. Like, just having those replacements ready as soon as the negative thought comes up. I am worthy. I am enough. I am loved. I am chosen. I am God's best idea. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. There is nothing wrong with me. And everything that there is the issue, God's working on it. Like, what we doing? Getting healed. Like, goodbye thoughts. Finding a good therapist or a coach, but also remembering they can't heal you and they can't do the work for you. They can help you with strategies and how to implement it. So yeah, thanks for tuning into this episode of the SOULKATION podcast. You all are amazing as always. Thank you for tuning in. Share this episode with your best friend. Leave a review also and rate this show 5 stars. And I'll catch you on the next episode of the SOULKATION podcast.
My hope is that your soul just went on a vacay and you have tools that you can apply to your life today. For more in-depth tools, head on over to loganrenee.com. Also, if you have questions that weren't answered on this episode, email your questions to logan@loganrenee.com and I'll answer them here on the show. I'll talk to you soon.